Sup nerds, Free99 here wondering, are the story mode archetypes any good? In this series we will go over every single one just to see how well they stack up to today's meta. This time around we have Elementsabers, a main deck archetype that has really powerful effects, but at also a really high cost. You see, the lightsaber here can let us negate spell or traps. The dark saber can let us flip monsters face down. Earth saber is a monster reborn for element sabers, while the wind saber can let us search our deck for element sabers and add them to our hand. The problem is, in order to activate any of these effects, we need to discard an element saber from our hand. Now normally, when an archetype has a discard for cost, the card being discarded has some sort of beneficial graveyard effect. This is not the case for this archetype. You see, they do have a graveyard effect, but the effect is they can change their attribute in the graveyard. That's it. So earth can become light, dark can become wind, etc., etc. It is really not beneficial for us in any way, shape, or form, which is the biggest drawback in this deck. The boss monster we have is Mana. It requires 2 element sabers discarded from hand in order to be special summoned on the field. But the powerful part is, depending on the attribute of the element saber that we discard, we get immunity in some form or another. If we discard an earth or a wind, element sabers on the field cannot be destroyed by battle. Discarding a water or fire means our element sabers are protected from card destruction. Discarding a light or the dark means our element sabers are protected from being targeted. Now, these all sound great, but again, the biggest drawback is the fact that you have to discard for cost, and it has to be an element saber. In order to mitigate this, the field spell is actually pretty helpful. Once per turn, instead of discarding from hand to the graveyard, we can dump a card from our deck to the graveyard instead. Now, normally, we would love to have this on the field at all times, but the problem is there's really no way to search it out aside from terraforming. It has 2 other effects, where all monsters on our field gains 200 attack and defense, depending on how many different attributes we have in the graveyard. It has a third effect where, at the cost of skipping next turn's battle phase, we can search our deck for an element saber and add to the hand. That's a pretty steep cost for what is normally a free search in other archetypes. In order to supplement this deck, we are running the adventure package. Foolish Burial can let us dump the Water Enchantress from deck to graveyard. If we have the Water Enchantress in our hand or in the graveyard, we can banish it. That'll let us search out the Rite of Air Messire. We can activate Rite of Air Messire to special summon a token onto our field and activate the Faithful Adventure from our deck to the field. Now once we have Faithful Adventure, we can activate this to grab ourselves the Wandering Griffin Rider, but it does cost us to discard a card from our hand. Once we have the Griffin Rider, we can special summon it on the field in order to activate the second effect of Faithful Adventure to equip our token with the Draco back. Now Draco back is great during our follow-up turn, since we can activate it to bounce a card our opponent has on the field back into their hand. Wandering Griffin Rider also has another effect where, as long as we control the token, we can shuffle back the Griffin into our deck in order to negate a spell, trap, or monster effect. The Faithful Adventure has a third effect, where as long as a monster is equipped with an equip spell, it can be protected from battle destruction once, which is really handy to keep our token from dying from battle, since it does get equipped with the Draco back. For staples, we have 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance. We can banish 6 cards from our graveyard to draw 2. We also have 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity. We can banish 6 cards from our extra deck in order to look up the top 6 cards from our deck, add 1 to our hand, and because of this, as you can see, our extra deck is filled with the most random assortment of fusion monsters that we're never going to fusion summon. Other staples are the 3 Maxis. We can discard this turn, and during the turn, if our opponent special summons, we get to draw 1 card for each time they special summon. 3 Ash Blossoms. If our opponent tries to search or draw cards, we can negate it. We have 2 copies of Called by the Grave. If our opponent tries to use graveyard effects or hand traps against us, we can banish it from the graveyard and negate it. Crossout Designator lets us negate any cards that we have in our deck that our opponent is trying to play. So Ash Blossom, Maxi, Called by the Grave, really common staples that most people use. Crossout can let us negate those. And finally, we have 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, which is a monster negate that can double as a spell trap negate if we set it first. But it does negate our own spell or trap card, so watch out for it. Let's get into some games, shall we? Can we win a coin toss? No. What's taking so long to choose going first? Oh, they want to go second. Alright. This is actually a playable hand. Let's go ahead and bait out an Ash Blossom. No Ash Blossoms. Perfect. So now we can summon out the Wind Saber. Activate the effect. Discard Fire Saber. Search our deck for the boss monster mana. Activate the field spell. Special summon mana. We want to ditch an earth for battle protection. And let's go for a dark for targeting protection. Put it in defense. They are going second deck. They might have Lightning Storm in their hand. Let's set the called by. Pass turn. Lightning Storm. Knew it. What? Dictator of D. Oh, they're gonna send the blue eyes, aren't they? There's the blue eyes. Yeah, maybe you should have destroyed our back row, because now I can call by the grave. And banish the blue eyes. But now if they do get access to Jet, it won't be coming back from the graveyard. And there's the Jet. Let's read it real quick. Yeah, blue eyes in the graveyard. Something needs to get destroyed first in order for it to come back. And, wait, why are they... Sure, you can have that. I mean, we have battle protection. Plus targeting protection, so you can't even bounce us. Our turn, finally. Rite of Eremacir, perfect. Let's activate this. Grab ourselves a token. Grab ourselves the Fateful Adventure. Activate Fateful Adventure. Grab the Griffin. Ditch the extra copy of the field spell. And then from here we can special summon out the Griffin. Which should trigger Fateful Adventure to get ourselves the Draco back. Equip that to our token. And now we can bounce something on their field. Let's go ahead and bounce the back row. Let's go ahead and search our deck for... Honestly, I don't think another mana is enough to OTK here. Let's grab ourselves the Earth Saber for our next turn. Put it in attack mode. Let's put mana in attack mode. And head into battle. So we have battle protection, which means mana will survive this. And then we can just attack over their, or our own guy. And then just punch really hard. Alright, what you got for us? Took them a year and a half to set 3 and end their turn. Maxi, not really a great draw. Let's go ahead and activate this to dump the lightsaber. And then resurrect said lightsaber. We'll put it in defense mode since we can't have a battle phase this turn. And then let's also put the Griffin and our Earth to defense. Okay, it didn't take him that long to set 1 card at least. Might be useful. We should have lethal here. Let's go ahead and bounce back the card that they just dropped. And then hopefully we have enough negates to win the game. Mirror Force. Okay, well we can negate that with lightsaber. Let's dump... honestly doesn't matter really. Wow, we actually won a game. Can't believe it. Let's see what this battle has in store for us. You know, normally I'd be excited to win a coin toss, but just because we get to go first doesn't mean we'll have a playable hand. Speaking of which... Oh, and they have Maxi. Perfect. So let's go ahead and Pot of Prosperity here. We want to always banish 6. Doesn't matter what we choose. And then let's see what our top 6 cards are. Yeah, if the turn passes to our opponent before we even do anything, chances are they have Maxi in their hand. A Maxi of our own. Couple of sabers, Fateful Adventure, another saber, Red of Eremesir. I think we'll grab Eremesir here, just for our next turn. We really don't want them to draw anything. Lightsaber has pretty good defense. We can just set that, and then pray that Imperm is good enough. What is that? Oh, they're playing a vampire zombie deck. Okay, cool. That is something we need to negate. That'll let them special summon something from their deck, right? Yeah. So they're playing Synchro Zombie. Too bad. 2100 defense. Alright, back to us. Ooh! That's a great card. Let's go ahead and Pot of Extravagance. Banish 6. This will let us draw 2 cards. Unless they have something. I don't think that does anything without Eldritch on the field. I mean, it still becomes a monster, I guess. Let's go ahead and activate Water Enchantress. Maybe they have a Called by the Grave that we can bait out. Okay, nothing. Okay, so we can just go ahead and use Red of Eremesir here. Get the token. And the continuous spell. We can use the continuous spell to grab ourselves the Griffin. Let's go ahead and discard this. Let's go ahead and special summon the Griffin. Activate this. Grab ourselves the Draco back. Equip it to our token. And now we can bounce something. Let's go for this card, just so we don't have to worry about attacking over it. And then... this has pretty decent defense. We can just set this, and then maybe resurrect the dark on our next turn. Let's punch. Our card has battle protection, and then we can attack for face here. What is that? It is a monster reborn. Yeah, let's negate it. Our attack isn't going to go through anyways. That's it for our turn. Next turn, we can flip over the Earth Saber and then resurrect the Dark Saber using the Fire Saber in our hand. What do you got? That thing has a graveyard effect. It has another monster reborn effect. Right. At least the effect is negated. What is that? That's another vampire card. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's not going to do anything. Wait. What the? Oh, it's a warrior. It's not a zombie. That's a weird card to put in a deck. Cross out. Might be useful. I guess we can just grab our Griffin again? Oh, they set that Eldritch card. Okay. I think we should negate it, or else it'll just keep coming back. Let's go ahead and grab our Griffin. Let's discard the rights here. I don't think they can clear our token. We can go ahead and special summon the Griffin. And then we could bounce one of their monsters, but I think it's better if we just murder them. We can go ahead and attack the Squire. Since we have battle protection, our token doesn't die. And then we can just run over their Vampire Hunter. That's it for our turn, I guess. We could have attacked with Lightsaber, but it's so weak at 400 attack, it'll just get run over by anything they put. They're gonna try to search for an Eldritch card. I think it's better if we negate this. And then we'll just search for a Griffin again, instead of letting them get their trap card out. The less our opponent has on the field, the better. Ash Blossom. That can come in handy. Yeah, let's just get the Griffin back out. This time we'll discard the Crossout Designator. Special summon the Griffin. Let's go ahead and bounce their monster and just get a bunch of damage. Just so if they don't draw anything useful on their turn, we will have lethal on our following turn. Because this is 4,000 damage, they'll be left with 3k. If they end up drawing a search card, we have Ash Blossom to stop it. Called by. Yeah, go ahead. I don't think that accomplishes anything. They set that back down. Duster. Yeah, we're negating that. Oh, you know what? I bet you they tried to use the called by as a bait. Hoping we'd negate that and then they could Duster for free. Yeah, they realized they'd lost. Okay. We just need one more win. Can we get it? Looking good, looking good. I mean, it's at least playable. Our opponent has Maxi again, great. Rediver Messier. They're probably gonna Maxi. No. Thunder Dragons. Okay. Sure, let's grab our token. We wanted a defense mode. Just in case they have Lightning Storm. Let's go ahead and activate this to grab ourselves the Griffin. Let's discard the Earth Saber. Let's go ahead and special summon out the Griffin. This will let us grab the Draco back. Go ahead and equip that onto our token. And now we can... I guess we'll just set Lightsaber here. I actually have pretty decent experience with Thunder Dragons. I played it exclusively during the second season of Master Duel. They have Solar Battery Man. We're going to go ahead and max C here. They're probably going to dump Roar. Just because the banishing effect is pretty decent. Yep, they did have the Wyvern in their hand. There are better things to negate, like their fusion card. They grabbed another dark. Solar will give them a token, which means one more card draw for us. Now what you got? A Link Karibo. Okay. What the shit? Oh my god, they're playing Underworld Goddess. Well, there goes our negate. Dark's probably gonna get them the fusion spell. And then that Wyvern is gonna get them the other Wyvern. Yep, there's the Dark Wyvern. Oh, they went for Hawk. Huh. Yeah, I guess you can discard Hawk to Monster Reborn something. And then from there, you can go into Colossus. Maybe they had no other discard cards to activate. Good news is we're drawing a lot of cards, so on our turn, we're able to do a lot. Good news is they're going to have to waste the Underworld Goddess and Colossus in order to attack over our token. And then their Collapse Serpent isn't able to attack over Lightsaber. Yep, there goes our token. Sorry, not gonna work. Is that it, or are they gonna special summon more? I'd love to draw more cards. Yeah, they're ending. Okay, lots of options here. Another Dark Saber. I mean, we do need that card, just not another copy. Let's go ahead and activate our field spell. They have a maxi. I think Ash Blossom is the best counter for this. Called by can be used later on their turn to just negate anything in their graveyard. I'm more worried about what Thunder Dragons they have in their grave, to be honest. Let's go ahead and summon Dark here. We can go ahead and activate its ability. No, not yet. Let's ditch the other copy of Dark. That'll let us flip the Colossus face down. And if this goes true, we're gonna be able to search our deck for stuff again. And I'm hoping it does. It does. Okay. Perfect. Now we can set up the rest of our plays. Let's activate the field spell. This will let us grab mana. And then we can special summon out mana using the field spell. And then we'll dump Earth for battle protection. We're gonna dump... I guess we can dump Light for targeted protection. So now we have mana on the field. And then... let's go ahead and use Pot of Prosperity here. Maybe we can draw into something else. Another hand trap would be great. It doesn't matter what we banish. We're never going to use any of these. You know what? I said hand trap, but I'm pretty sure the Fire Saber is the better choice here. Just because our field spell is once per turn, and we have 2 cards that are able to use their effect on our opponent's turn. I don't think Lightsaber is big enough to attack over anything. So we'll just attack with these 2. How much protection does Colossus have? Quite a bit. It's not good to attack it yet. Let's just go ahead and kill the Underworld Goddess. And then we can also take out the Collapse Serpent. If they have more copies of the Light Serpent, or Light Wyvern, they'll be able to grab it. But we do have Max C still. So we can use that on their turn and then draw back to a bunch of cards. We're still in the battle phase, so let's go into main phase 2. Set the called by. Set the imperm. End our turn. And then right as our opponent starts their turn, we're going to go ahead and activate Max C. This will either stop them from playing at all, or we get to draw a giant hand again. They're going to Colossus. Titan. I meant Titan. Titan doesn't have protection against battle, so we should be able to attack over it. Yeah. They're going to activate the egg. So in order for Titan to activate its effect, it needs to go right after the egg. We can go ahead and interrupt that by flipping it face down. Let's go ahead and discard one of the cards in our hand. They still get the search. Thanks for the card draw. Ooh, that lets him draw. We're gonna negate that. Let's go ahead and banish. Send one from our deck. Wait a second. Don't they still have one in the graveyard? Yeah, they do. Okay, we can call by the grave here. We can banish their last dark. They gave up. I've been Free99. You've all been amazing. I'll catch you next time.